I'm back. Yeah, time for some reviews. In 2015, here we go. Ha ha. Hey, hey, hey. Maria, where's my pants?
Welcome back to Little Piece of the Using for the Females, but it's perfect. Welcome back, my little T-Cells. It's Scorpion72, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Marvel Legend San Diego Comic-Con exclusive Doctor Strange Book of Ashanti. Yes, this was one cool Marvel Legends exclusive that they've done, I think, to date, even surpassing the Thunderbolts one and the other Thanos wave, the Thanos exclusive one that they had a few years back. This one to me is one of my favorites, and I'll show you why. First of all, take a look at the packaging. It's basically looking like a big book. So there you can see on the side of the book it says the Book of Ashanti as well. It's very, very nice, this packaging. The back just has a smooth like texture, almost like a real book, but there's no designs, nothing in on the back of that, on the back of this packaging and the box. The real artwork is actually inside. I'll show you what I mean. So upon opening up the packaging, you'll see that there's just lovely little skirt like diamonds with the Eye of Automoto in them, and there you have the giant Eye of Automoto, as well as the illustration as to who Doctor Strange is. Upon turning the page, you see the other characters that are in this book. Basically, you have Marvel's Brother Voodoo at the top there. Dormammu, one of Doctor Strange's greatest villains. Darkchild, which is Marvel's Magic. That's she's actually Peter Rasmusen's sister, who is an X-Men. So we are getting some X-Men characters. And turn page, you get a nice look of illustration for Hela, who is basically the main keeper of the dead, a Thor villainess, I should say, as well as one for the Marvel Universe, Keeper of Souls, and she just looks really fantastic in this illustration. Which brings me to, and here we have, of course, la creme de la creme, the figures. Eye of Automoto replica, Brother Voodoo, Astral Plane, Doctor Strange, which the regular one should be just now being released with the, I believe, the Hulkbuster armor wave. They have the two fire skulls that come with the Dormammu, Hela, and Magic with her two swords. So I must say this is a really, really, really nice box set, San Diego exclusive. What do you say we take a look at the figures inside? Alright, my little TCLs, here we are with a look at the Doctor Strange San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. I should actually say San Diego Comic-Con exclusive Doctor Strange Marvel Legends Book of Ashanti wave of figures. It's a case figure 5, as I mentioned earlier. So first we'll take a look at who else but the Sorcerer Supreme, Stephen Strange, better known as Doctor Strange. So this is the Astral Plane version of him. The regular version of Doctor Strange comes in the Hulkbuster wave, which should be out. I think it's hitting stores now. So if you have this San Diego box set, and you pick up Doctor Strange, he's in his normal, like, human form. It'll make a good combination, especially if you want to have him like perch up on a stand behind the regular all painted Doctor Strange. Make it look like his astral type spirit body is leaving his body. That would be pretty cool. The articulation is basically the same you come to expect from Marvel Legends. Nowadays with Marvel Legends, when I review them, I'm just going to go through any articulation that's different, because they're pretty much all the same. You have the same buck, ab crunch, shoulder, all the things you come to love from Marvel Legends. It's all in here. Even like they have a thigh swivel there, and ankle rockers and articulation. His accessories are 2 mystic casting spell rings, or spell binders, so you can cast a spell there. I find it, this is an updated version. I am like, his cape, he used to have more like a cape, if you know the classic version, but it seems to be mostly down here, so it's kind of like, it looks like a dress type thing, or his cape is hanging there like almost like a backwards apron, as I would call it. I'm guessing it's the Eye of Automotu right here on his belt, because he doesn't normally, he wears it on his chest, so I'm guessing how they place it on the belt. The paint job is, he's clear plastic, which you can kind of see through here. It's kind of hard to capture clear plastic on camera. He does have a bit of paint. He basically has silver lines highlighting and detailing his costume. As well, he has silver in his eyes. Just gonna bring up close there, and he has dark blue on his mustache to show that to show a little bit emphasis on this figure, seeing how he is clear plastic. So they want to keep it as clear as possible, but also show a little bit of like the highlights of his costume. If you've gotten the Avengers wave with Scarlet Witch, then you know these things are pretty much, the little casting spell accessories are pretty much the same. So having Scarlet Witch, you can mix and match them. No Doctor Strange is coming with green ones, so basically you can have a little combination of having him make like different casting spells do just by putting this here, and it gives, I like this, I like adding this one because it gives a little bit more color to the figure, where if these casting rings, we'll call them there, and it gives a little bit more color to this figure, so it's nice to add something different. As you can see, it really, like, you can make it like he's casting different spells. So when you do get the original Doctor Strange, if you don't already have them, you can have like this pink fluorescent one here, then you can have the green one here, or vice versa, or you can even keep the cream colored white one here that they have that comes with the figure. The other thing I did get was, if you get the, I think the 2/4 inch Scarlet Witch from the Age of Ultron wave, these rings are a little bit smaller, and that's kind of why I picked them up, and they have a little bit more flair and design to them. So if you wish, you can actually have smaller type rings to show different type of casting spells. His hands are kind of it reminds me of Spider-Man's when he's hands when he about to shoot some web. But there are open in the middle for him to hold things, so he can hold objects with these hands. Like I said before, it's kind of hard to see here, but hopefully you can catch it, that he can hold things with his hands, because they are open, even though they're kind of like almost in the Spider-Man type pose. But these are the way he casts and conducts his spells, being, you know, the protector of the Eye of Automoto and Sorcerer Supreme. The other little thing he does come with are the box sets. It's just a box set that comes with is this Eye of Automoto. It's basically a light hollow plastic type little like diorama. Well, I wouldn't say diorama, but prop. So As you can see, there's nothing, no color in the back. It's just hollow, all gray, but here it's all gold. I would have liked it if they added a little bit color to the eye or something to make it a little, like, stand out a little bit more than just having it like a fresh, like just a quick brush of like gold paint. They put it on this. This I'll probably just put in my display case with my Infinity Gauntlet that I got from the last San Diego Comic-Con. So that was from Marvel Universe, that is. Next up, we're going to take a look at Magik. So Magik is Illyana Rasputin. If the name sounds familiar, it's because she is the sister of Peter Rasputin, better known as Colossus of the X-Men. So Magik has a history because if I remember the story, and some of you who are old enough will remember, I think she was kidnapped by Baleska and trained in the mystic arts also to improve her powers. Thus, she every now and then, if the magic overtakes her, she becomes Dark Child, and that makes her extremely powerful. They did have a storyline with that, I believe, with she's a little bit hard to stand, especially with the swords. There's a storyline with all that happening and stuff in X-Men called Inferno, if I'm not mistaken, where Jean Grey was a clone turning bad and all that kind of magic thing, and basically demons were running around loose on Earth and it's up to X-Men to stop them. I haven't read that story in years. It's a really good story, so if you want, I'm sure it's on trade paperback. You should pick it up and read it. She comes to the Soul Sword, which can banish supernatural beings. She does have like an armor type hand with spikes, and the sword is almost translucent. So hopefully, maybe down the line, to reissue a sword like this, they can change the color. Or if you want, you can change the color of the sword, but it does give a little translucent look to it. She also comes with a regular type of sword here. With they both are. This one is painted with a black hilt. On the side here, she does have like an X, showing that she is an X-Man. And here, what I like, as I mentioned in many of my videos, I like it that when companies do really flexible hair, so it does not hinder her movement whatsoever. The articulation for her is basically the same. On a small book like this, she has no waist articulation, but most of it's on the upper chest. She has thigh swivel, double jointed knees. She has cuts at the ankles, what I want to say, and she also has the basic, which seems to be the thing for all females. There is no bicep swivel. It seems to be mostly at the elbow, and it swivels there at the elbow, which still gives her the same range of movement as if it was in the thigh. In the bicep. It's a really nice looking figure. With this buck, hopefully Marvel Legends will start doing more X-Men figures, because this buck can really be useful for like a Kitty Pryde, Jubilee, or any other type of like mutant teenagers that they can make using this buck that they have here. Seeing how it's really solid and really well done. The paint apps on her, there's not many. She's basically all in black except for this gray arm here, which is all spiked up, and you can feel the actual field sculpting of all the armor in her left arm here. Next up, we're going to take a look at probably one of my favorites in this wave, Brother Voodoo. So, Brother Voodoo has a direct spiritual link to the spirit realm. So he comes, basically, as you saw, I just replaced the cape. Is a 2-piece cape that he comes with here. It doesn't separate, and it's kind of loose, so it does fall out. When I've been taking a quick look at him before filming, I find it kind of pops out quite often. I do like the sculpting on him as well as the paint apps. Again, it's very clean. There's no splashes, no blemishes on mine. His staff is really cool. Basically, it's a stick where this bottom half of it is all like wood, and the other part, hold on, let me see if I can stand good. And the other part here is all translucent green with two like spirit type, demon type heads coming out of it. What would have been really cool if this glowed in the dark. As you can see, it looks nice when it has a little light behind it, but I guess for you customizers, anybody that has like glow in the dark paint, I guess just a little brush there. If you want, can make it really, it would have really made it stand out. This kind of had like, it was more like glow in the dark, but I do like the way they did the translucent staff showing him activating his powers. So the staff fits pretty much in either hand, but mostly it seems to be made for his right hand. And the other hand seems to be more like a spell blasting hand, or even so, if you have a relic or something, he does have that. He does have this hand allows him to grip and hold something in this hand as he's casting his spells as well. The difference in articulation with him would be the wrists. This one goes up and down like this, while this one has that other type of articulation where it's like, it's got like what is it called, a hilt type thing, like, you know, when he wants to just put his hand up higher to, if he wants to cast a spell. So it's a different wrist articulation. I've seen this once in a while in some of the Marvel Legends figures. How they choose to do it, I'm not sure as to why, but I guess this it goes, I guess, for a base from figure to figure. The paint apps on him is pretty well done. Even though he's in like a black costume, he has gold shackles, he has this green belt around him. I like the way they did the design of like the markings on this costume, as well as this looks like a voodoo type replica of the Eye of Automotu here in the middle with his chain there with bones hanging off of it, and here he has a little bit of skulls hanging off of his belt as well. So this figure really is really cool, and it's one of my favorites of this box set so far. I really like this Brother Voodoo figure that they have come out with, especially the paint on his face and everything. He just looks like somebody that you don't want to go up against, mystically at least. Next up we have Hela. So this Queen of the Dead, pretty much Queen of the Dead, because she commands the realm, kind of like a hellish realm, where one touch can basically, she can take your soul out of your body and control you. She's basically an Asgardian character based from the comic books. I remember way back in the 80s, they had this book where they focused on all the female, the popular female characters, the upcoming popular female characters of the time. There was telling you the origin story of Black Widow, as well as a few other characters, but I remember reading a story about her, and she was in that book. And that character stuck out to me as somebody who's really cool, and Wolverine vs. Hulk type animated cartoon that came out straight to a DVD about a year or two ago, that she's actually featured in the animated series in animated form. So it's really cool to actually see her in animated form and get an eye there for realm and everything like that. These antler type things are coming out from her helmet. Whoops, just flew off. Where'd it go? Okay. Wasn't meant for that to happen. So these things you gotta put on once you take her out of the package. It just fits in the back like that. And her cape is actually cloth, which is cool and unexpected. It looks like it can be removed from here, but it looks like they glued this part in, so I wouldn't try and pry it off. It is very loose, and that allows for her range of motion with her shoulders, even though they don't really go up that high. I do like the paint app. She's pretty much in a metallic green as well. All the lines there are lined up. There's no smudges, no blemishes, nothing at all. The articulation for her is pretty much the same for all females. No bicep swivel. It's all here in the elbow, but she only has one, no double elbows for articulation there, but she does have double jointed knees. There's no thigh, calf articulation here. There's only the ankle swivel and ankle rocker. No waist swivel, of course. It's all just below the breast for pretty much all of the Marvel Legends females. She comes with this very lime green sword, which for those of you who've gotten, like, say, somebody like Strife from the X-Men Toys R Us wave or something, it's pretty much the same sword, just painted in a lime type color. The face paint and sculpting it's really well done. I like it a lot. She's another one of my favorite out of this box set, and she turned out really, really well. Also, in the costume, she has, like, it's not just metallic green, but it has a little sparkle to it. So the metallic looking color of it kind of glimmers and catches the light in such a way that it's really really cool. Like, they really did a good job on this figure. This is the first time, by the way, first time ever they've done this figure in 6-inch form. Same thing with Magic, also first time. Brother Voodoo, I know we saw him about 2 or 3 years ago. That was technically a custom at San Diego Comic-Con when they were showing a whole bunch of custom different figures and stuff. But this is the first time you get Brother Voodoo, Hela, Magic, of course Mystic form, Doctor Strange, but that's the first time Doctor Strange in 6-inch. And next up leads me to the first time ever that they've done a 6-inch is Dormammu. So when we saw him, I think it was about a year and a half ago, when they showed a quick slide of him. I think it was at Toy Fair. We didn't know how this guy was going to come, in what wave, how he's going to be. I believe he's supposed to be a Build-A-Figure. Obviously that changed, and they added him to this San Diego exclusive box set. He is really, really cool. I like the way they did the flames on his head and the articulation on his head is pretty cool. I finally moved the head up and down a little too much when I was just fiddling around with it. It does come out, it does pop off pretty easily if you want it to. So you might want to be careful of that, but it does fit snug right there in his head. Upper shoulder, this shoulder armor here, the upper armor allows him to lift his shoulders up higher. So it's not glued in. It may seem like it's a little loose, but that's to allow him to actually so you can get the most out of the range of motion of his shoulders. His arms from the biceps down to his hands are translucent purple. It's more prominent once you get to the hands. It's very, very clear and very translucent purple. I like it to give that kind of like, he is the ruler of, the dark dimension. So it gives him that he's always in power form. Little known fact is that this is not his original costume. His original costume, he had a filament head, and he was like kind of like in a kind of pajama like outfit. If you've seen them, like Baron Zemo, not the one that came in the Captain America wave, but the other Baron Zemo from back when he first was introduced. It was a basic like jumpsuit that he was in. I guess they felt that that didn't really pop as much as being an action figure, stand out. It's not to say that Marvel Legends may not do that, seeing how this is the only way to get Dormammu. They might do a smaller version, another version of him in that classic form. We don't know. But this outfit, I'm guessing it's the way he looks in the comic book. But for me, it's the way he looks in the Marvel vs. Capcom game. Marvel vs. Capcom game, this is his outfit that he's wearing in the video game that you can play as Dormammu. The only problem I have with Dormammu is I find his upper body's a little loose for the ab crunch for me. The waist swivel is fine. This is kind of soft, but it gets in the way because also in the back here he has another one. So there's two back capes here which don't allow much range of motion backwards, as well as this being really kind of rigid here. Even though it's kind of soft, you can't get much range of motion forward. That being said, it means that you cannot sit him on a throne properly. If you want that, if you have a customized throne or something you want to sit him on, you're gonna have a hard time doing that. He has upper thigh swivel as well, double jointed knees. Same thing with the he has thighs calf swivel as well. The other point I want to make is that his knees, his boot shins here, it is pretty much a little loose, but it hinders the articulation of the ankle, except for the ankle swivel here, or ankle rocker. But to move it forward or back, it's next to impossible because this part here and this part here really prevents him from moving that part of the articulation back and forward. So you might have trouble standing him. The cape kind of does give a bit balance. As I was going to go over, I was going to mention when I was mentioning about the double, he has double jointed knees. He does not have double jointed elbows, which is something different as well. He just has a single joint elbows. But he still can get in some really cool poses. He does come with two accessories, which are skulls that are on fire. So he comes with two flaming skulls, which you can put in his hand. Now these skulls have a hole at the bottom, so you can just place it, say, okay, that one didn't go so well there. See, you can kind of place it on his thumb if you want to have it, like, try to get him to hold it, as well as in his hand like this. And you can hold the skulls this way. So I find this kind of neat. I believe this is one of the features from the video game where he produces these skulls on fire and throws it at his opponent. I'm guessing it's the same thing that he can use against his enemies. And what I found neat about these skulls is also that it's a smaller, little shrunk down version, but not too much, of the Ghost Rider head from when the Return of Marvel Legends started. I'll show you what I mean. So it's basically the same. The flames are pretty much the same, and the head sculpt is pretty much the same. So what they did is just basically used Ghost Rider's head and made it purple and added some purple flames, and I think that's cool. And you can actually still fit it on your Ghost Rider. Whether this will fit on the new Ghost Rider coming up in the Spider-Man wave with Rhino, I don't know yet, but I am gonna try it. I think it's gonna be pretty neat. So it's almost like Dormammu is possessing Ghost Rider, and he's in control of Ghost Rider, and now Ghost Rider has to do his bidding. So that's a little play factor. If you wish to add in there, you can. And I think it looks pretty neat having a Ghost Rider purple head. Even if you have an extra Ghost Rider, you can alternate all that. So I find that pretty cool. That's a little thing that I definitely want to try once I saw that he's coming with these heads. Dormammu's coming with these heads and stuff. And of course, you know, There you go. Oop. There you have your mama holding a purple head and a blue head. Pretty neat. I like it. Alrighty. So that is the last figure of this set. Alright, so there you have it, my little TCLs. This has been a look at the San Diego Comic-Con Marvel Legends exclusive Doctor Strange Book of Ashanti. These figures were sold out at San Diego Comic-Con, and they sold out also on Hasbro.com. So you have to check online retailers or anywhere you do look for your San Diego exclusives to see if you can grab this book. Well, the figures actually. I call it book because I really do like their packaging, and this is one time that they made something like this packaging here, something that definitely is a keeper in my collection, as well as the figures. So if you're a Marvel Legends fan, you want to add these figures to your collection, I suggest you try tracking them down while they're still available, because these figures are quite amazing. If I had to choose my favorite, it would be a close contender between Brother Voodoo and Dormammu, with Hela running a very near second or third place. So comment, like, subscribe. Hopefully you can find these figures, or maybe if people are selling the ones they don't want, you can get the ones you really want. And yeah, thanks for watching, and Scorpion72 telling you, of course, keep playing. Till next time. The eye of Otomoto sees you. Seize your toys. Get more toys. The eye of Otomoto commands you. More toys. More toys. More toys.